Okay, we're going to take a good look at your swimming. Now, of course, we've got all the information you need on a great stroke in the Library of Success, lots of videos, have a look at them. I'm saying the same things over and over again, so what I'm going to do is just make some key points that we're going to aim for. Then I'll be looking at your stroke and the vision of you and seeing where we're falling short or not. The first thing we're looking for is an early catch. So the hand goes into the water here and we're catching straight away, catching the water. So you've got to pop that elbow a little bit, activate your back and pull it through, right? Catching the water straight away. Your hand, your fingertips need to point down to the ground as soon as possible. Not arrow through and all the way out there and let them fall down and then turn it. From the top, about 10 centimeters under, grab that water and pull it back. Now, when I was young, we used to do like a snaking thing from in front of your shoulder over to the other hip and back around like a big S. No, now we go straight. In, catch, straight to the hip, all the way down to the thigh and pull it out. So when it comes out, your thumb is scraping right down near your knee and you push that out straight. Don't turn the hand, don't turn the hand, don't slice it. Don't make an easy way out. Don't let go of your catch. So you get your catch here, early, boom, all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way, and then all the way out, boom, past the leg there. That's the way to do it. Now that was a bit ungraceful, but don't worry, got the point across. Okay, so you've grabbed the water and you've got to pull it back. Now sometimes we let our elbow lead the way, and now look at that, look at the water, it's escaping up here, it's escaping from the hand. Oh, we're not going anywhere. You're going to waste time, energy, everything. It's crazy. Don't do it. So what we're going to do, catch the water, hold the water, and your elbow has to be above your wrist. So if we're swimming along here, we've caught the water. Look where my elbow is to catch the water. It's above the wrist. You've got to keep that position, elbow above the wrist. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and then push. Don't let the elbow, this is what it looks like when the elbow collapses. Boom. Look at the water, escaping out, escaping out. No. Hold it and pull all the way. Same here. God, I've got to get taller. Hang on. Let's put it down here. When it goes past and coming out, look at that. If you release your elbow, oh, water's escaping it, but I can get the hand out easier. Or I turn the hand. Oh, water's escaping, but I get the hand out. No, here, push, boom. Like you're throwing a stone straight at your foot. Boom, push that water. You've got to feel it go past your toes. Try and breathe both sides. It keeps you balanced in the water. You breathe when the opposite hand goes into the water. So when the wrist breaks, it gets to the wrist, you're catching the water there, that's when you take your breath, boom, and pull it through. Use your core strength and your glutes. So have your belly button in, your glutes activated, so you're not over-rotating all the time. You want to stay nice and level. You only need one eye out of the water to breathe, so not too much. A lot of people are turning around looking up at the sky. It's too much. Shoulders go down, hips go down, then your legs kicking out to keep you balanced, and you look like an octopus. No good. Keep kicking throughout, it gives you balance. When you kick, you don't break the water, so you're not like boom, boom, boom out the top of the water. It's furious, and the water's going everywhere, but you're not. You're not going anywhere. All you want is your feet just to the top of the water, making it boil from the glutes and the hips rather than from the knees, right? Ankles are relaxed and toes are pointing towards each other. So now we'll take a look at your stroke. The first thing we got you to do is swim as fast as you could, and look, I just didn't think you were going any quicker for all the effort than you do when you're a bit more relaxed. So looking at the video later, we'll see a lot of it's to do with you bending your legs while you're kicking, and that's actually dragging you back. Like so many people, we can get a more effective catch. I mean, I think you're looking like a much better swimmer, but we're still lifting that head out. Look at that, all the way out to breathe. And I wonder, and you can watch too, sometimes we catch it, you're blowing a lot of air out on top of the water, and you'll see the water spray up as you blow it out, as you're blowing out the air. So that's something we've got to work on as well. We'll check your rotation. You know, not the words, but probably still rotating too much. And certainly if you're turning two eyes out, you definitely are rotating too much. So we've got that. And you can just sort of see the way that elbow drops in. We've got to sort of put it into the water and start pulling back rather than pushing underwater with that elbow sinking down. So we'll take a look at all of that. But before we go to the underwater footage, let's have a look just from behind as you're swimming along, and you can see your sort of rotation there, and you're sort of almost like snaking a little bit in the water. That's just too far over, and it's affecting how effective your stroke is. And that's why when you're putting extra effort in, you're not getting great returns out of all that effort. You know, you're not going that much faster. So let's have a little look at what we can do. I think we can work on a few things. And one of them will be to try and make sure that the hands go in front of the shoulders rather than coming right across to the head. You can see you adjust them back to pull down along the shoulder line anyway underwater. That's wasted effort. So we'll try and fix that. And here we go. We're swimming along here. You can see right in front. Look at that head come out. 2 eyes out. You only need 1. You're pulling out too far. And I think it's because you're breathing out. Look at that. You've only just opened our mouth now. So your head's out of the water for a while before you even open the mouth. Anyway, look at those hands. There you go again, and you can see all that water blowing out. Anyway, we're kicking away there. I mean, you've got plenty of energy in your kick, there's no doubt. That's good looking up to see where you're going. There, look at that water spray out as you're breathing that out. So you want to get that more of the breath out when you're looking down. And let's make sure you're looking straight down at the water. Checking your left hand here. Now it enters the water and straight away your elbow drops. You can't pull any water from there, and it's not until you get to there that you're in an effective catch position. So all that 1.5 foot of water is almost completely wasted. And now we've got our right hand checking that elbow down again, and the same, but it's a bit better because at least you cock your wrist, and then you're in a real position of strength again under your shoulder. So that makes for a short stroke if you're only going from your shoulder to your hip, and sometimes you change your hand. And you're bending that wrist too much. So you want those fingers pointing straight down the bottom, even past that point. Fingers pointing straight to the bottom. That's what we want. This is a diagram I used to show. Look at the type of rotation or the amount of rotation we're trying to get. But have a look at everybody's hands, all pointing down to the ground. And that's what we've got to get from you. They've got their elbows cocked, their wrists cocked as well, and they're ready to rip that water back. Now, look at all the rotation, maximum 33, 34%, some a lot less than that. When you're swimming, you're turning around a lot, and you can see the impact it's having on your kick. You breathe on both sides, and your kick, you twist around too much when you breathe, and so you're practically kicking sideways, but you're bending your leg so much, one leg comes out of the water a long way, but when you bend your leg, you're actually pulling the water backwards. And with your ankles are flexed as well, and with your toes pointing down, that's acting like a real brake. You've got to have your ankles relaxed and your toes pointing back like arrows pointing backwards. So when your left hand comes in, you breathe over to your right, and you can see your elbows drop there. It's too flat. But look at that, as you're turning, your shoulders are almost one on top of the other. That is way too much rotation. But as you come back and you get into a position of strength, it sort of corrects itself. But look at that, leaving the water. You've twisted your hand out and you've lost the catch. So how big is your effective catch? It's basically just from your shoulder to your swimmers, really. So we've really got to sort that out. And that hand, the fingers have got to be closed, pointing straight down and pushing straight back, not twisting to get out easily. As we let the videotape run, you've got to remember, try and get your fingers pointing down as soon as possible. Once that hand enters the water, you've got to cock that elbow and keep it above the wrist so that it doesn't fall down uselessly. I mean, as soon as you can, you've got to be ripping that water backwards. And so don't let the hand sink more than 10 centimeters below the water before it's pulling back. Then there's the kick. I mean, I think you should take some of the power out until you get it under control. You've got to pull your tummy in, use your glutes, and hold yourself more still in the water. You're turning too far and kicking sideways. It is dragging you backwards. And you can really see the impact here on your stability in the water in this freeze frame. You've got one leg going one way, the other going the other, one arm out, and that left arm goes out to the side a bit, and the other one's up in the air. But look, you do bring it back, but it's because you're so strong and fit, but you're slowing yourself down for sure. Here we're looking at another picture of you over-rotating, and what happens then is when you're doing that, your hands have to act like stabilizers. Look at that right one, right out to the side. And so your hands do that quite a bit. They slice out to the side just to hold you up so you can breathe. Here we can see your head's a little bit low. I think that's why I put that picture in. So be careful you don't dig your head down deep. And that'll be why your feet are coming out so high at the back. There's no need to break the water. You just make it boil. So you can take some of the power out of your kick. All you got to do is make the water boil. But you definitely don't want to be breaking the water. What's the point of kicking the air? It's not going to move you anywhere. Here are the key points. I want you to reach out in front of your shoulders and put the water in there. Don't take them right across in front of your head. Look straight down when you're swimming, but don't drive the head down too deep in the water. That throws your balance out. When you're breathing, all the air has to come out in the water and then turn one eye out to breathe. So don't rotate so far. That's going to help your body stay more stable in the water and you'll be able to swim that little bit straighter. What might help is breathing every 5th stroke if you can do it with your fitness, because then you get more time just to be level in the water without having to turn to breathe. So that's going to be really important. You are pulling your hands out early sometimes at the back of the stroke, so we've got to avoid that. You need to relax your ankles. If you've got your toes pointing down to the floor, if you just kicked like that, you would go backwards. There's no doubt about it. And if you did kicking with that bent legs, all the time, you would go backwards. So we've got to take the bend out. You've got to relax those ankles, let them be loose. The toes are pointing straight back and they're just flopping behind you, really. So don't hold them stiff and don't keep them bent so that the toes are pointing straight down. Honestly, that'll just take you backwards. And I'm pretty sure that we can just take some of that power out and you'll find that a little bit easier. And if we're breathing every 5th stroke and not rotating as far, everything might start to work better for you. And then we can practice breathing all the air out and just turning one eye out, so just minimizing that head turn. If you can do those things, you'll keep improving the way you have been, and it'd be a good idea to check some of your old videos to see how you have been improving.